Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I am your host, Jonathan Taylor. This video is coming out on my birth country's national holiday, and I thought I would celebrate or mark the occasion by looking at a book that takes place during the events that necessitated the national holiday becoming what it is today. And that book is Privatisers: The Revolution by Liviu Balic. If anyone who is familiar with Braille who is looking at this video, please let me know what's going on with this flag right here, because it's got these. I'm pretty sure this is Braille, but I'm not exactly sure what exactly it's supposed to mean. Like the rest of this cover is pretty self-explanatory. Like you got the city backdrop and a reference to the Kilroy was here meme, but the flag still kind of vexes me. Also noteworthy is actually the back cover, where we see, the back of Kilroy's head and what exactly Kilroy himself is looking at with the masses roaming around, contrasted with what the media is displaying, which is the masses, which is not the masses roaming around, but just some of them. And also this flag here, which now looks different for some reason. So yeah, if you have any idea of what the flag is supposed to be, I would very much like it if you let me know. Given I already have this copy, I can also mention that this particular one is signed by the author. I actually met the author directly at a Christmas market last year. Bought the book from him there. He was doing a fundraiser in order to refurbish a monastery, if I'm not particularly mistaken. And then it took me almost a full year to actually get around to reading his book, because reasons. Aside from this somewhat more interesting story, what is it about this book that that makes it distinctive, that makes it interesting? Well, the TLDW of this review is saying that the story of how I got to own this book is the most interesting part about it, is simultaneously true and misleading, because there are plenty of interesting parts and ideas strewn throughout this book, but the way in which they are presented and the various other elements within it are quite underwhelming, if I'm to be perfectly honest. What do I mean by that? Well, that's what the rest of this video is going to address. The plot of this book follows a small town man who I assume is a beat cop, even though the book itself doesn't really specify it one way or another. Within a few days of the week that led to the collapse of Romania's Ceausescu regime. And if I can go on a little aside here, it's Ceausescu, not Ceausescu. I have no idea who spread the Ceausescu pronunciation throughout the English-speaking world, but it is bad. It is wrong. It is phonetically wrong. It's acoustically wrong. It's any way you can think of it, it's wrong. Stop saying it, Ceausescu. His name is Ceausescu. Seriously, English speakers, if you can say treasure instead of treacher, you can say Ceausescu's name correctly. Got that? Good. Now that I'm done with this aside, back to the book. Initially, this main character is assigned to protect certain industrial assets from what is at first assumed to be a terrorist threat, hence my assumption that he's a beat cop. However, as the terrorists gain ground and it becomes clear that the national regime starts to tremble a little, our main character notices the winds of change blowing blowing out away, and hoping to seize the opportunity, spreads his sails, even if in a very awkward manner, and alongside his best friend, who happens to have the same name as him, goes on some seriously wacky hijinks. The main thing that stands out to me about this book is its humor. It is not technically varied. It's mostly just misunderstandings of people between each other, as well as various insults being flung around. However, from a content perspective, it is actually quite varied. There is a lot of nuance to be gleaned within how the style of humor is used, and all of that makes everything that this book presents seem seem genuine and seem relatable. Because a lot of this book, even on a textual level, is based on how people have false assumptions about themselves and as well as others. And when these misunderstandings are revealed, humor ensues. Aside from within dialogue, the humor of this book also showcases in the way its plot develops, because this book is very much structured as a comedy of errors, where one misunderstanding leads to another, until eventually the entire plot of whatever story we're following absolutely collapses once these layers of deception, either deliberate or accidental, get revealed as deceptions. Something similar occurs here when, with characters finding themselves in increasingly ridiculous and sometimes outright dangerous situations, which also helps to further emphasize the overall chaos that occurs within the setting as a whole, and particularly within this moment in history. Still, even within the chaos, there are certain points at which a reader's perspective is still grounded. That is assisted, though only partly, by characterization. And when I say only partly, I say that it is only really the two leading figures that get any level of characterization. And even then, the characterization we get is just enough to where you as the reader understand how they relate to the ridiculousness of the situations around them. Other characters around them do not receive the same level of grace, if I'm to be perfectly honest. They are not meant to be understandable. They are simply meant to be memorable, and as such, they are stripped down to a basic comedic archetype. They are, they are either the loudmouth, the overly serious, the overly polite, the abashed, and so on. So yeah, nothing particularly or distinctly memorable about them. The world building follows a similar minimalist direction. Things are only explored or explained insofar as they are absolutely necessary for this author to share the story. Nevertheless, there is something more grandiose that occurs within this text, but you have to go beyond the line by line statements to find it, and that is most directly found within the within the general tableau that it paints, and about how people constantly misestimate what they and other people can do or are set out to do. So yeah, there are lots of misjudgments within this book that fuel that central conflict. Overall, in spite of its points being presented quite sloppily, the general messaging of this book about human error and cumulative error that occurs throughout large historical events, I will say still rings quite true. My final rating for Privatisers: The Revolution is a 3 out of 5. And that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, please like the video and maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If there is anything you'd like to add, either to the book or to my review of it, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My books, the very first of my own Heir to the Empire series, The Next Generation and the Path Not Taken, are available at various book retailers under their respective links in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I would suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, you also have the option of supporting me on Patreon, where depending on the level at which you pledge, you can you can receive various perks, such as early access to videos and scripts, both for this channel and my second one, because yes, I also have a second channel, where I talk about whatever it is that interests me in that moment. Until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been The Heir's Lair.